Hello there, fellow zombie slayers! My name is Stanley557. Easter eggs are an integral part to the COD Zombies game loop. These small quests had humble beginnings all the way back in Reese, but have now evolved into multi-million-dollar endeavors that attempt to dazzle and reward only the most hardcore players. It's a primary appeal of the mode nowadays, and has developed its own dedicated audience, myself included. But in the early days, completing these eggs was nothing more than an achievement, and on consoles this was taken literally, with gamer scores and platinum trophies being all the rage in the 2010s, and apparently platinum videos are still all the rage in the 2020s. But along the way, the developers slowly found new ways to reward players. So today, that's what we're going to look at. Black Ops 6 has given us more than ever, yet egg completion still sit at around 4% for some of the most completed eggs like Liberty Falls. So let's take some pointers from the past and see what we could do to improve that total. So let's dive into the world of Easter egg rewards and talk about which ones work and which ones didn't. Starting off in World at War, Reese introduced the first Easter egg, and at the time, nothing was awarded to players. The same could be said for the first officially recognized quest in Black Ops 1, with Ascension giving players a 90-second death machine for saving Gersh from the capture mechanism. Call of the Dead follows up on this with an even better reward. For sending the crew to Paradise, you are granted the Wunderwaffe DG2 as a limited power-up similar to the death machine, but one that only goes away once you use all of its ammo. This is extremely useful in solo, as this is the only way to deal infinite damage. But while you're in this mode, you are restricted from the usual restrictions that come with having a death machine, including but not limited to being unable to revive your teammates. Also included in this reward is that now every time that you defeat George, he'll drop an additional Wunderwaffe power-up. This reward is rather simple, but adds another layer to an already amazing map. Shangri-La continues this trend with another unique feature at the time for completing the main quest. The player who retrieves the focusing stone gains permanent perks for the rest of the match. This was unprecedented back in the day, but balanced out by needing to complete the Easter egg and surviving in the already treacherous Shang. But as an added bonus, the egg becomes repeatable, so should you want, Shang can be completed multiple times, with each player who grabs the focusing stone being granted the same reward. A really cool novelty, but one I've never actually seen people attempt due to the quest's 4-player requirement. Then there's Moon, which culminates Black Ops 1. If you haven't retrieved the Vril device and the focusing stone, only the first portion of the egg can be completed. But if you have both pieces, the game's grand finale can begin, which grants players a conclusion to Richtofen's grand scheme, permanent perks for all players, a change to the undead eye color, Samantha voice lines for the player playing as Richtofen, and a new copyrighted fire sale track. Also, Area 51 gets an all-new makeover, with this section looking gorgeous in Black Ops 3 in particular. And while the ending does jump the shark, the rewards cannot be understated, and make playing out the rest of Moon a fever dream that wouldn't be rivaled for a long time. Black Ops 2 continued the trend of Moon and attempted to do another joint Easter egg, with Transit, Die Rise, and Buried, each featuring 2 separate Easter eggs that culminate in a proper endgame that concludes the original narrative from World at War and Black Ops 1. But first, the rewards. Transit offers nothing besides a lit up pylon and power-ups, with the rich Giga Chad Maxis always dropping periodic power-ups under the pylon, and then there's the beta poor Richtofen, only dropping 1 upon completion. Die Rise and Buried both grant players a set of non-permanent perks. Again, both these guys are poor, I guess. Permanent perks are just not a thing anymore. But upon having an entire team completion of one side of all 3 eggs, in Buried, you can access a one-time endgame bonus. This mostly serves narrative purposes, but does have gameplay rewards. By serving Richtofen, you can gain access to a permanent fire cell for the rest of the match, and a 4-gun variant of Mule Kick. And for serving Maxis, you get the canon ending, but no special rewards besides a guaranteed power-up every time that you kill a blue-eyed zombie. Also, the universe is destroyed by Maxis, thus creating Origins. So that's cool. The entire framework of the original Super Easter egg is ambitious, but fails to entice players due to its lackluster one-time reward, 2 of the 3 eggs requiring 4 players, the endgame requiring 4 players for all 3 of these eggs, and they have to be basically the same teammates too, and one of the maps being Transit, which, like, come on, we all know this isn't exactly the most fun map to do. And the rewards for being on Buried is a bit of a waste because the map is already as easy as it is. But now we've arrived at Origins, which gives us the Blundell special of just an outro cutscene, and a confusing one at that.
Oh, dog! Grab a phone! Oh my god! Oh my god! god, what the fuck?
And of course there's Mob of the Dead, which has 2 endings, but they're both slightly different white flashes with text on screen, so it hardly counts. Advanced Warfare doesn't have any rewards for the first 3 maps, besides the trophies that appear on Descent. But as for that map, for completing the Easter egg, you unlock the permanent ability to play and are forced into a game of Double Feature, which is a hardcore variant of the map that features stronger undead, a limited HUD, reduced point per zombie, no weapon retrieval upon death, instant bleed out, no teammate name displays, and quick revive is disabled. The primary goal of the mode is to make it to round 20 and defeat Oz. Doing so will grant you the final trophy in the trophy case. This does nothing, but it's purely for cosmetics and is basically another achievement marker. And also, as a bonus in Double Feature mode, the cost of PAP is reduced from 2,500 to 1,500. And I'm surprised that they still haven't done something similar to this. Zombies could really benefit from a true hardcore experience like this, and one that isn't just faster undead that deal more damage. Taking away mechanics and introducing new ones is a great way to make you think differently about how you play, and despite it being on Exo Zombies of all modes, it is a welcome change. But I would be lying if I said that I go back to Exo Zombies constantly just to play it. I really haven't played it a whole lot since the last time I got footage for it. Black Ops 3 is our next stop, and for completing each of the main quests, besides the Giant, you are rewarded with an outro cutscene. For Shadows of Evil specifically, you are rewarded with the skybox going back to normal, the blue train tracks visual glitch, an upgrade Silver Protector, and a calling card. Then there's the Giant, which offers you the most confusing plot point in the entirety of COD Zombies and the Annihilator pistol. And then going from Horizon Jock to Go Rod, players are given just a round of non-permanent perks. With Go Rod having an added bonus of, if you complete the main quest in under 75 minutes, or an hour 15 minutes, which is 115, you gain permanent perks, which is super cool, and strange how there's been no skill-based rewards like this since. But then there's Revelations. For completing the previous 5 maps, you'll see some immediate rewards in the game. By taking this glowing orb to the house, and placing it within the toy box, you'll gain access to a Pack-a-Punch box, Takio's katana, and you'll also find out that it does actually make the boss fight much easier, which is something I didn't know about until just recently. And finally, for completing the quest, with all other quests complete, you get a calling card, a permanent RK5 in your loadout, and max ammo in your starting pistol. Honestly, it's the smallest kind of change, but one I think goes a really long way. Especially in a game like Black Ops 3. Like, I don't think it would work if they just gave you more gobblegums, or if they reduced the price of them, or made them overpowered, or gave you perks to start with. I really feel like the RK5 and getting maxed MR6 ammo is perfect for the game. Then there's the pinnacle of egg rewards with Infinite Warfare. For Spaceland, you gain access to the double Pack-a-Punch fuses, which completely change gameplay for the rest of the game, and access to Hoth as a playable character. In Raid, you gain access to the Slasher's chainsaw and can temporarily kill him, alongside being able to play as Kevin Smith. In Shaolin, you gain access to Pam Greer's sword, and the ability to play as her as well. And in Attack, you gain infinite Fate and Fortune card refills, and can play as Elvira. Then there's Beast, which offers you nothing, but for completing all 5 eggs, you unlock Director's Cut, which gives you 25,000 points, permanent perks, 3 additional quick revives, all weapons are papped in the box, increased special meter recharge, and the ability to fight Mephistopheles at the end of Beast once you've recompleted every other Easter egg again in Director's Cut mode. I've gone on and on about this fight and this section, and it's seriously one of the best. Then, by beating Mephistopheles, you gain access to Willard Wyler in Director's Cut Spaceland, who comes with a unique melee weapon, dialogue, and outro cutscene that officially caps off the story. You also earn additional calling cards and camos for completing this endgame content as well. Infinite Warfare went out with a bang, and even the rewards for completing each Easter egg individually were miles better than what we were getting in just a normal Treyarch map. And honestly, the team could learn a thing or two from providing these unique features into each map by completing the main quest. Would 100% incentivize a lot of people to try and do them. Lee Ross and his team had left some large shoes to fill. World War II followed the Black Ops 3 method, and every main quest completion grants players a non-permanent perkaholic. This happens for completing the Final Reich, the Darkest Shore, the Shadow Throne, each chapter of the Tortured Path, and the Frozen Dawn. For completing the hardcore Final Reich Easter egg, you also gain access to the Hilt, which increases revive speed. For completing the Tortured Path, you earn specific weapon camos, the completed Blade of Barbarossa, and initially you unlock the survival maps as well, which are now granted to everyone in the community. And finally, for completing the Frozen Dawn, you are granted slowly regenerating armor, ammo, and specialist meter. Then, once all of these quests are completed, you earn the Witch Warden zombie skin, access to the MP40, M1928, M1 Garand, and combat shotgun as starting weapons, and the Uber Schnell weapon charm. While a step down from IW's directed cut mode, World War II has a surprising amount of rewards to offer. Before the loadout system was introduced in Cold War, this was a great way to change the way that you play. The camos are also really cool. You gain access to the Blade Barbarossa on the survival maps through a small Easter egg, which is also really neat. And the Witch Warden skin is awesome. I love the design of it. It sadly definitely clears the zombie skin that you get for Weaver in Black Ops 6. But you do have to complete the tortured path to get all these rewards, and that's an ordeal I'd wish on no one. And then there's Black Ops 4. As much as I love the game, it is arguably the weakest out of the entire series, and by arguably, it definitely is. Because for completing each egg, you get literally nothing. Every egg ends in a cutscene, and in Classified's case, which is the only one that doesn't end in a cutscene, you're at round 150, and for most people, that's enough time to play. It's been rumored that there was a Cut Super Easter egg, but we're talking about what's actually in the mode, and BO4 had nothing. Cold War immediately followed up BO4, with each Cold War egg only awarding players with a calling card and an immediate end to the match. But for completing all the eggs, you gain access to the Zoo Altar in Outbreak, and based on the amount of eggs that you've completed, you can earn additional calling cards, emblems, a legendary watch, cool, and when all the eggs are completed, you can load in with a purple tool weapon, which is completely busted, especially for a game as easy as Cold War. I would love to see some of these rewards come back, even if it was better balanced by the game, like only giving you a green tier weapon and not a purple tier weapon. Now on to Vanguard Zombies. For completing Terra Maldicta, Shinonuma, and the Archon, you'll be granted a small loot pool of points, Pack-a-Punch weapons, and wonder weapons. In the Archon, you also gain the access to the Dark Ether until you leave, and for completing Shinonuma in the Archon, you gain +1 tier to all of your non-maxed out perks, which is not really that helpful, but cool. These rewards are the bare minimum, which sounds about right for Vanguard. MWZ doesn't have any main quest, but for completing the Unstable Rift, you are given the Mark of the Survivor animated camo, and for completing the Echo Entity, you gain access to the STG-44 Mastercraft. And both of these rewards are incredible, especially the STG Mastercraft. Now sure, they immediately released an even better Dark Ether inspired Mastercraft, but actually having a weapon blueprint to give players is unprecedented in zombies. Frankly, we're just taking anything that we can get at this point. And apparently, the animated calling card that you get in the Unstable Rift got a ton of people to actually try and complete the mode, so it's clear that there's a demand for these rewards. And finally, Black Ops 6, we have a whole slew of things to unlock. For completing Terminus, Liberty Falls, and Citadel early, you can earn special animated calling cards, and then for regular rewards, you can earn character and weapon skins, regular calling cards, and weapon charms, with the skins being for Maya, Weaver, and the ray gun. Also included in the map for completing these eggs is a in-game perkaholic, a large loot pool which includes wonder weapons, pap crystals, aether wrenches, a million bonus point repeat sound audio effects, and high tier weapons. Who knows what the super Easter egg will look like, but now let's discuss what I'd like to see in Black Ops 6 after going over all the rewards that we just saw. Just like in IW, I'd love to see additional character skins, but not just ones in-game for the characters, but special character skins, like for completing Terminus, being able to play as Peck, for Liberty Falls, Blanchard, or even the Director, and for Citadel, it would be cool to play as the Owl or one of his sons. These would be incredible, especially if they added stuff like unique voice lines for the map that they're on. And in a game like Black Ops 6, this would go a long way for a ton of different variations of players. Other ideas include milestone rewards and egg track encounters, like giving players gobblegum packs for completing the Easter egg a certain number of times, or offering weapon blueprints and skins. And I know that these things might not ever happen, but hey, wishful thinking never hurt anyone. Another feature I'd love to see carried over from IW is the Super Boss. The Echo Entity was a step in the right direction, but introducing a Mephistopheles level boss fight would be insane, especially for a game as fluid as Black Ops 6. And it's been spoken about on Twitter before that the Treyarch dev team are aware that the IW Super Boss and the endgame content is the high bar that we want them to shoot for, so they are aware of it and I hope that they reach it. The boss fights in BO6 so far have been insanely good, and I'm hoping that they keep up that level of quality going forward. And finally, I think it'd be cool to see additional game mode rewards. Double feature in Descent was a great idea in the wrong game, and giving players unique challenge modes would be perfect. Custom mutations would have 100% paved the way for this, but better late than never, I suppose. And that's the evolution of main quest rewards in Zombies. We've gone from flat out nothing to a series of rewards that push the envelope for the game, and others that are just okay. Personally, the fun in the main quest is the Easter egg we made along the way.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
But I understand why the rewards are important to people. Their value cannot be understated, especially for fan appeal. But what do you think of all the Easter eggs and the rewards in COD Zombies? Did you even know some of these existed? How many do you have done? And what would you like to see added to BO6 to make them worth it to do over and over again? Let me know. But with that said, thank you everyone so much for watching. And remember, keep on slaying.